How's it going out there today, guys? So today I wanted to talk about another concealed carry related topic. So basically, you know that you need to know your laws as far as what you're allowed to carry and when you're allowed to use deadly force. Now, obviously, you don't only need to know these laws in your home state, but any states that you may be traveling to, because they vary from state to state. For example, in my home state, we have a concealed deadly weapons license. That means that I can carry a pistol, a rifle, any variety of handheld weapons, brass knuckles, collapsible batons, stuff like that, and certain types of knives that are restricted. That's all covered under my concealed deadly weapons license. Now in the state just north of me, there is it's completely different. It is a concealed pistol license. You are only allowed to carry a pistol. It does not apply to any other weapons. So then, when I go to that state, I must adhere to their laws. Whatever state you're traveling to, you must adhere to their concealed carry laws, right? I think most people understand that. If you're new to concealed carry, that may be news to you, but that's something you need to understand. Another thing that varies state to state is the duty to inform. Now, the duty to inform applies to if you are stopped or pulled over by a police officer. Do you have a duty to inform them that you're a concealed carrier and have a gun or not? Some states they already know because it's linked to your license. So as soon as they pull up your license plate, they know that the owner of the car is a concealed carrier. Not every state, but it's pretty common these days, I believe. So my home state, there's no duty to inform. Do I do it anyway? Most of the time I do, unless the police officer is in a real hurry and actually doesn't give me a chance or doesn't ask me if I have any weapons in the car. But like I said, in my neighboring state, you must absolutely, even if you have to interrupt the police officer, first words out of your mouth should be, "Sir, I'm a concealed carrier and I have a firearm in the car." Obviously, you don't want to yell, "Hey, I've got a gun," for obvious reasons. That tends to make police officers very uneasy when you do that. So definitely don't do that, and don't make any lunging movements towards the glove box. But anyway, I think that's, it should be pretty common knowledge. Like I said, if you're new to concealed carry, you may have learned something new. So that's awesome if you did. But what I wanted to talk about today is something that lots of people don't think about. I'm always really good about searching the laws in whatever state I may be traveling, so that I'm making sure I'm adhering to the law of the land, if you will. And I'm always looking that up. Whatever, if I'm, say I'm traveling 4 states away, I'm checking the gun laws in between all the states along the way to make sure that I'm legal. Like I said, in my state, I can carry a fully loaded rifle, underneath my seat or in my trunk or something like that. But whereas a neighboring state, they don't allow that. The ammo's got to be separate and stuff like that. So I'd like to tell you a story that my concealed carry instructor, who was a former police officer, told me and made me aware of. So my concealed carry instructor was originally from New Jersey. He didn't claim it, but he did have family there and had to go back to visit them on occasions. Now, even being an off-duty police officer, he had to adhere to the law of New Jersey when traveling there. And the law in New Jersey at the time was that your ammo had to be, you couldn't carry loaded, Your gun had to be unloaded. And I believe your ammo and your gun had to be stored in separate compartments, maybe even different places in the car, like they both couldn't be in the trunk or something like that. But so he had a Glock 19, he took his ammo, took his magazines, stuffed his magazines in a separate bag. Just to go one step further, he decided to unload all 4 of his Glock 19 mags. I don't remember exactly how many rounds a Glock 19 holds. I think it's 15 to 17, something very similar to what the CZ PO7 holds. So he took all his ammo, his self-defense ammo, and he put it in a nice little Tupperware container, and he put the lid on it, and he stuck that in his trunk. Lo and behold, he got pulled over by a New Jersey state trooper on his way to visit his family. And of course they got to talking. He found out that he was a fellow officer, and he asked him, he said, well, hey, did you bring your duty gun with you? And he said, well, yeah, of course. He said, but I've got it stored. The ammo and the magazines are stored separately, and all this and that. And the officer said, well, do you mind if I take a look? And he said, oh, no, of course not. I don't mind. So he opened up the trunk, showed him his gun, his magazines, showed him his Tupperware full of ammo. And the police officer said, well, I'm going to tell you something. And he picked up one of his rounds of ammo, and he said, you see this ammo you got right here? Every round is a felony. And of course, my instructor was like, what? He's like, yeah, in New Jersey, hollow point ammunition is restricted. It's a felony for every round. So you figure he had 15 to 17 rounds times 4. That's how many felonies he had. Now, luckily, he was an off-duty police officer. And, the officer didn't charge him and told him, hey, you better get rid of this ammo because, somebody might pull you over down the road that's not a nice guy like I am. So there's something I had never considered. Even though I look up gun laws in the different states I travel to all the time. And that is that you need to look up what kind of ammunition laws they have. Because, like he found out, he, had 17 times 4 felonies. And he probably would have lost his concealed carry license. He probably would have lost his right to carry. Well, he was a cop. He wouldn't have lost his right to carry probably, but he would have gotten some big trouble with his department. Or, probably, so. Something to consider, guys, that not everybody considers, and I probably wouldn't have considered had he not told me that, which I'm really thankful that he did share that story with me. So I want to share that story with you guys as well. So just something to be aware of. Ignorance of the law has never gotten anybody out of trouble. It's your duty to know the laws wherever you're going. You can't just say, well, I didn't know that law existed. Doesn't matter. They're still going to prosecute you for it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys have a great day. And we'll check you out next time. Later.